Well, hello. Here we are. Level 8, lesson 12. We're working on some more U and U sounds. So one thing that I did work on earlier is just I kind of updated this little PowerPoint presentation that I've been working on. And it just sort of shows all the different ways that we have to spell U and U right now. Now, this is going to be something that's attached in the lesson summary, but if your student is looking for kind of a snapshot of all the different options, this is good, I think. But let's switch gears and do some learning today. All right. So we are working on the U and U sound again. Way back in level 4, your student learned that there were 2 ways to spell the U and U sound at the end, and one of those ways was UE, okay? So the reason that the E is here in the word clue is because American words do not get to end with the letter U. We do have imported words like the word menu, but that's not an American word, okay? So that has to do with going back to when the printing press was invented and the way typeset was back in the day. So it's just why we do things the way we do. American words don't end with the letter V, they don't end with the letter U. And it's because of the printing press. So hashtag blame the printing press. All right. This vowel team makes the same sounds. So in the middle of the word, we do use EU. Okay. And that says the same thing that UE says, which is U or U. Okay. So we have a word like feud. We could, let's go back. So we could not spell the word clue this way. Why not? We can't spell the word clue this way because of what I just said, which is American words do not get to end with the letter U. Okay, so that's why we have to switch it to UE at the end of the word, but we do get to use EU in the middle. Okay, so we see it in several words like the word feud or Zeus or the name Eugene. We see it in multi-syllable words like the word neutral. But you know, this is just kind of showing they have a lot of different spellings. So an open U is a really popular choice for spelling the U or U sound. So if your student was unsure, they probably should look it up with like a open U. Another popular choice would be the OO. So those are both popular choices and good choices when you're trying to spell the U or U sound in the middle. This sound that we're working on now is actually very uncommon. So we would want your student, you know, this wouldn't be their first choice, but we want them to know that it is a choice. So we did a little bit of practice looking up words and things like that. Now, again, do I think that your student is going to grab their Franklin speller from the year 2000 and look up the different choices for spelling U or U? No, I do not think they're going to do that. But I equate this as working a long math problem and showing your work. You should know what your choices are, okay? So the word is streusel here, and this is how your student would probably look it up, and they can find the right spelling of it. Same with maneuver. Go through, you can look it up. How do you spell booth? That's an O-O. How do you spell youth? That's an O-U. Okay, so we have lots of different ways to spell the U and U sound is really what this is showing. How do you spell sleuth? Well, finally, we're back to our rather uncommon vowel team here, sleuth, okay? New teaching number 1, done, check. All right, next word is going to be the word, we have the word do, and again, UE is used at the end, but here's the deal. A U followed by a vowel is usually not a vowel team. Now, there are a couple exceptions. We have a word like Let's do the word suit. And we actually account for a word like suit or cruise or bruise, where that U and the I are actually coming together to make a new sound. That's why we call it a vowel team. It's making one sound. We account for those in our sight words. So there's only a handful of them. So that's where we account for all of those, just in the sight word section. Okay. So I'm going to say it again. A U in the middle of a word, a U followed by a vowel is usually not a vowel team. Okay. And so we see this in a word like dual. So you see the U followed by a vowel, not a vowel team. Two separate syllables, dual, dual. Okay. So they are split up. Same with the word cruel. Two syllables in this word, two vowels, two separate sounds. It's not cruel as in one, we couldn't say it as one syllable. Okay, same with this one. Now we have where the U followed by a vowel is not a vowel team. Ruin, ruin. Here's another one, tuition, tuition, and annual, annual. A U followed by a vowel, not a vowel team. Ambiguous, they will have to play around. Obviously, most students would push this to the back for beginners or for starters. Ambiguous or ambiguous, it's ambiguous. You will have to move that around. Actual. Okay, so now we get to TU saying chew. Okay, so we talk about TURE saying chur. We've learned that a long time ago. But now we're finally to TU in the middle of a word says chew. I actually think we should also have a DU says Jew, but that is never taught. I do think it's super important. We have a word like graduate or educate. You know, most of the time we don't say educate or graduate. So anyhow, but that's just me going on a tangent right now. So ignore that. Okay, so we've got the word actual, and then we practice the word punctuate, punctuate. Finish spelling the word perpetuate, TU in the middle, perpetuate. Habitual, go back to the reading. Okay, so then we just sort of review. The UE is a vowel time. The UE is a vowel team only when it's at the end of the word, okay? Like avenue or Sue or something like that. When you see it in the middle of the word, you got to split those apart, okay? And then TU says chew. So that is the learning for that. You can certainly account for this in a couple different ways. Hold on, I got to move my toolbar. Like EU says you and oo, as in feud and sleuth. You could put that on your vowel team page. I also showed you that PowerPoint that will be attached to the lesson resources that you will be getting. All right, let's switch gears. Let's take a look at the extra practice work. Okay, so we start in each row, circle the correctly spelled word, use your spell checker if you're not sure. So there's the answers for that. Then your student can just go ahead and make some sentences, make sure they know the vocabulary, like the Suez Canal. We're going to be reading about the Suez Canal a lot in this lesson. Make sure they know that Dwayne is somebody's name. It's not something that we use very often. And tumultuous. Anyhow, some of those are new. And then we have new sight words that we're going to be working on here. Sometimes your tutor will not have gotten to this part of the lesson, so there will be a do not or not yet symbol. And then when it's done, they'll put the date on top of this. So One will turn this into a real sentence. Oh, this actually isn't sight words. My bad. Sorry, I just looked at this. These look similar to sight words. So we'll go through. Her undergraduate tuition at Purdue costs more than your annual rent. Stuart ate grapefruit in the morning. My weight fluctuates depending on how much fruitcake I eat during the holidays. Well, I don't eat fruitcake, but that's true. Reuben and his family had to evacuate due to potential flooding. They went to the Statue of Liberty. Virtually every venue in Bellevue was booked solid for New Year's Eve. Our neighbor complained that our dog Zeus's perpetual barking ruined her backyard party. So anyhow, that's it for that one. Fluency drills, same deal as always. Decode, don't guess. Look for the chew section in here. Fluctuating. Make sure they know all these words. Great words in here. Today with my client, we talked about like the word eucalyptus. We talked about the word presumptuous, ambiguous. So those are some that my client did not know today. And I would like them to be able to use those in sentences: grandeur, altruistic, euthanasia, euphemism, all of those. Okay, so you are getting so close to being done with this monster of a level. We are on the second to the last lesson, and anyhow, plug on. And if this is easy for your client, your student, congratulations, that's amazing. They should be going back and doing any extra practice work that is not done, because the review for this lesson is critical. We have learned a lot, and we have gotten into the weeds on a lot of things, and we're really looking to make sure they remember that for a long time. So anyhow, decode, don't guess, and we'll see you for the very last lesson pretty soon. Okay, goodbye.